Hi, I am Brandy Malandruco, and I'm just going to make this video to kind of walk through the presentation that was given at the Navigate Summit for Secondary for Canvas Advanced. I did the same one for the Canvas for Beginners, where we kind of walked through the global navigation, the course navigation, home pages, and all the things that kind of go directly with Canvas that are, to me, basic need to knows. Today, or in this video, I should say, we're going to do very much the same thing, but we're going to go with the secondary, more advanced class. So a couple more things. We're going to go ahead and get into this class. I'm going to put this to the side. So we're going to dive in, and I have buttons here, and y'all will have access to these buttons. They're going to take you to pages, to your grade book, and a few other things that's going to walk you through stuff. So this is about uploading your images. And we talk about your account image, that you're basically your profile picture for Canvas. And then you have your course image. So it walks you through step by step with your bullet points, but I'm going to do it right here in front of you now. So in your account, to upload this image, if you just have the generic, person, you're going to go to your account, you're going to go to settings. In settings, you're just going to put your cursor over top of your picture, click, and then upload your picture, or you can take a picture with your computer. I'd suggest uploads, and then once it's uploaded, your stuff will be saved. This is mine. It's a picture that I took in Barnes & Noble because, English teacher at heart. So that is your account picture. I highly advise you putting a picture of yourself on there because the kids like to see that we are people and we have fun and we have lives, and they need to see that. So I'd highly advise you putting a nice personal picture up there. Now, the course pictures, so notice all my other courses have images to them. My sandbox has a picture of me and my family. My two courses from last year, my English 1 and English 2, they have to do with books. The same thing I will do this year once I know what I'm teaching and I have my canvases supplied by Skyward. I will then find another book picture that I really like, and that's what I will use. This was the picture I used for the beginner's course. This is the secondary course for advanced, so we're going to add a picture to this course. Okay, so in order to add a picture, I'm going to hit my little hamburger here, if that's what you want to call it. Scroll down to settings, and I'm going to be able to go straight to choose an image, upload an image. The image that I have saved for this class is right here. I'm going to upload that. And scroll down and just make sure all my stuff is updated and it looks good. And now when I go back to dashboard, that image should have taken hold, and it did. So that's an easy way to upload your image. This is another reason why I like the card view for the dashboard for both teachers and students. It's a lot more appealing to the eye, especially if all the teachers have an image that is related to their course, where the kids can see it. So a cool math image versus a cool science, marine, automotive, welding, art, all the things. And it just makes for it to be a more appealing view for them. So we're going to go back into the course, and the next thing we're going to talk about is grades. So I'm going to click my little button, and yes, I'm going to show about making buttons later on. And it's going to take me to my grade book. I did this earlier, and I wish I'd have changed it back, but we're going to just kind of have a look at a few things. Remember, sync, that's how you get your stuff to sync to Skyward. I talk about this greatly in the beginners one. Applying filters, great tool here, especially if you want to grade based off the module, the assignment groups, which is your formative, your summative, etc., etc. Another way you could easily filter is by sections. So sections is going to mean your periods. So if you want to grade specifically in first period, second period, third, you can apply the filter by the section. And then as we go through the terms, when we get into term 2, you will then have another option in apply filters that's created where you can, I believe it's going to say grading period is the terminology that Canvas uses. Past that, with each thing that you've got grades for, you will always have this little more button pop up. You're able to sort your grades by low to high. I use this feature a lot when students haven't turned something in and I'm ready to post it into Skyward. Those students that just, they have to wait to see the 0 before they do something sometimes. I'll put it low to high so I can easily adjust those grades as fast as possible. Another reason I use sort low to high is when I'm curving grades. While you've got this curve feature here, my curves are very different. I curve based off that lowest grade that I see versus the highest, and then I adjust those numbers to the 55, 65, 75, 85, 95. So putting them in a low to high range groups all those numbers together that I need, allowing me to quickly curve. And then I'll usually also go through and add that comment curved to each particular individual. So they understand that there's been a curve to this grade, not just them, but their parents as well. But yeah, we went all through these as well in the beginner section. When I get into speed grader, this is a test, like a quiz. So notice I've already kind of went through this, and I'll talk about it. So when you open a quiz that has been graded for you because it knew all the answers, you can look at every single answer. You can regrade it. You can adjust the points. You can even give a direct comment on each individual question if you want to. This is what it looks like when you have a stimulus. So for this particular part A, part B question, we made it a stimulus question. We took a picture of that question here, and then just did, A, B, C, D, E, etc. over here. You have the same features. You can regrade it. You can add points, take away points, or even add a comment. But this is what it looks like when you have a stimulus. The stimulus is over here on the left. Your questions are on the right. When you get all the way down, you also have another option to fudge points. So notice that this has been fudged by 25. So the student made a 50. If I were to make a curve, and that curve means the 50 is actually a 75, I would just fudge these points 25, hit update. The new and final score is now 75. And down here in my comment, I would put curved, and I would make sure I hit submit. If you forget to hit submit, Canvas does save it, and it will kind of give you like a notification saying, hey, you have an unsubmitted comment. Do you want to hit submit? It'll kind of remind you that you forgot to hit submit. And then this is what it looks like. And this comment will go over to Skyward when you sync it. It doesn't matter how long the comment is, it will go over to Skyward. Whereas when you comment in Skyward, you have a limit. In Canvas, you don't. And because Canvas does talk to Skyward, that whole comment, however long it is, will get moved over to Skyward and be presented on their Skyward printout sheets as well. So notice that when I open this, my gradebook is still open in another tab, so I can just easily click exit. If ever you need to go back to your gradebook and it's not available in the tab, you have this option here. It's going to take you right back to your gradebook. You have some settings options over here. There's not many that you can mess with. I typically don't mess with it. I usually grade alphabetically. It's the easiest thing for me to do, but you have other options as well. But I'll show you that you can click this and it goes right back to your grade book. But I'm going to exit out that. The next thing I'm going to show you is when something hasn't been graded or you need to grade something, you get like a little piece of paper with an exclamation mark. And that tells me that the student has turned something in, but I need to grade it. So I'll go to Speed Grader. So I made these courses. I added them specifically through mine. I linked them to PCSD, but because I've made them, I'm not getting the features. When PCSD makes your courses for the year, you're going to get the other features, which I'm about to show you. So this was a test student within the one I made. What I'm going to go to is one of my assignments from last year by my English 2 student. So I put them in incognito, so y'all can't see who the student is because we can't do that. But you get all this information. You can go back to gradebook. You can have your settings. Your options are the same. Obviously, my students' names are hidden right now because we can't show them. It shows you what the due date was. It'll show you when they turned it in, etc., etc. And then you have this bar here, and this bar has a lot of great features. And I wanted to go over this bar before we went into the student annotation submission type, which is what we're going to also cover in this advanced. So we're going to go over this real quick because you have this. The students will have this in their student annotations. You're going to see what I mean. You can download, you can mark this up and then download it, and all your markings will go to that download. You obviously can zoom out, zoom in, and then you have the full screen option, which is amazing because everybody likes the full screen option. You click the same button and it comes back to what you're doing. Your mouse pointer is what's going to be on default, but then you can go to this point annotation. You can change your color and, say point to the question mark. Great opening question. You can leave specific comments and stuff about your student submissions with this balloon. I call it a balloon point annotation, balloon annotation. You can also highlight. And you can change the color of the highlight. Again, you can leave a comment on the highlight. You can then do a text. So I can put a text box anywhere and say what I need to say here. You can change your color of the text as well. I'll just put great job. And then I should be able to move that wherever I need. You can change the size of the font. You can change the background. No background. I want a background. I want it. You can change the color. I guess you can't change color of the background. Strike through. Love this method. We want to make sure we fix, and I'm double clicking when I do this. Like I'm double clicking on this. Like we have to be cautious. Wow, I can't spell. I thought I had an I in there. Be cautious of this grammatical rule. All the things. And then this is a free draw one. This is just outright free draw. Probably works great on those new iPads, I would believe. That would be a wonderful feature I'd like to mess with. You can make your lines thicker. You can change their color. All this is available. You just want to hit delete if you don't want it there and take it off. And then there's also the area annotation. So I'm going to annotate for this area only. I'm going to draw the box around here. I can change my box color, and then I can leave my comment about what I want to draw attention to that particular area. So this is all available to you when you do your speed grader for assignments that are very much like this one. And like I said, this comment that I left for this particular student, this whole comment went over to Canvas. And this is one of my shorter comments that I did leave. A lot of my longer ones, they do go completely over. But that is SpeedGrader. It's a great feature. Notice that I didn't have any of this on his. It was just strictly a grade and a comment. Usually that's where my wheelhouse is, just because of time preferences. But if I really wanted to break it down, I have all these features to do that with. If you are using a rubric, the rubric will be available down here. And I believe, no, I didn't have that here. Which one do I have a rubric on? I wonder if it's this one. Yep, there it is. So when you have a rubric attached, and usually, you have a very small amount of space here, I will grab this bar and pull it over, click and hold and drag. My view rubric, once I hit my view rubric, whatever I've set my rubric to, I can just click here, there. I can adjust the points if I need to. I don't want it to be full. I want it to be 10. And wherever I click, that's where the points get adjusted. And then as you can see, my total points come out down here. I hit save. And then now I can see that my total points is a 90. The only issue with this is once you see total points down here, you got to come back up here and put that 90 up here. It's fine. It's no big deal. It's just one little extra step, but the rubric is a very nice touch. You can make as many rubrics as you want. You can actually put the rubrics where the students can see them so they know what kind of grade establishment they're going to get. You can make them as intricate as you want or as basic as you want. And they can be added to any assignment. So the rubric is a nice feature. Okay, we're going to go back to home page. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this stuff because I think we have covered all that. Yes, we have. All right. So we've hit the pictures, we've hit the grade book, and now on to, I did this for student annotation. So we're going to click on this and it's going to take you to a module. And this module you have access to. So these are student annotation submission types. This is a PDF, this is an image, slides, and this is slides as PDF. What I discovered is if you have too many slides, if you're trying to upload a student annotation submission type as a Google slide, then, or a Google presentation, if you've got too many, like this one had 10, it wouldn't let me upload it. Well, it said it did upload, but then when I pulled it up as a student, nothing pulled up. So I had to take the slides down to about 4 or 5, and that's when the slides work. But when you did slides as a PDF, you're going to see all of the slides, all 10 was able to show up. So we're going to go in each of these, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to view as a student. And this is what a student would see for this particular feature. So we're going to go into the PDF, and this is what pops up. So notice what I said. They have the same stuff that a speed grader has to upload this. So I put my name using the text box feature, put my name up here. I use the highlighting feature because I'm going to annotate because that was part of my, my teacher's rule, right? As we come down and we have the questions, you can make them annotate questions, which I usually do with mine. I make mine tell me what's wrong with the alternative. Tell me this is wrong for whatever reason. I'd probably do this feature and say, this is cool. Whoa, maybe not that feature. I probably need to change my mouse if I'm going to do that. There we go. That feature's right. Probably a lot better on an iPad, or do with a text box. And we're going to, this one's right. So all this is available to the student. This is a neat new submission type. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this. As much as I'm big on paper and pen, I think this is really nice to kind of make them do that work digitally if they need to do the work digitally. So this is, like I said, this is a direct PDF that I pulled a random common lit piece that I had saved. I'll just read this real quick. So make sure that your slide, your doc, your sheet, etc. has been uploaded into your course files or it is downloaded to your desktop or laptop. I prefer the latter. Most of my stuff goes straight here to my desktop and then I pull it over. To me, it's easier. You're welcome to keep it in your course files. I just know that me looking for it on my desktop is going to be quicker when I pull it over. In order to view the student annotation assignment, you need to publish the assignment and then view it as a student. Your files do not show on your end as the instructor. And then student completes the file using the same features that you have on SpeedGrader. And then they can hit submit assignment and it is ready to be graded by you. And you can have the confetti feature on as well. I think the kids like that sometimes. I'm going to leave student view so you can kind of see that when I go into the teacher view of this assignment that I made, notice that you cannot see what they're doing. I would have to go in to edit this, and when I make this my student annotation, I know that this is my PDF that I'm pulling. I would have to delete that and then upload a different one in this section. So when you go to make a student annotation, you're going to click this button and it's going to have the option for you to go and pull from your desktop or your course files what you want to upload. I'm going to cancel and leave that, and I'm going to go back to view as a student. And we're going to go to, so if you're working in a module, another thing is that this was my first assignment, my second assignment, I can just click next and it goes right into that assignment. So this assignment was an image, and I kind of did this while we were working in the summit. So I did the text feature, put it for Texas. You can do it here, Tennessee, I can move it around, make it smaller. There we go. We're going to put Tennessee right there. And actually, this is where I'm going to take that background out. So now the TN is within the Tennessee marker. I can do like we did the balloon. That's New Jersey. We're going to go Florida. And I found that this to me is very neat. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it for English, but the uploading the image and being able to label everything, I find that very, very, very neat. Cool feature. So again, this is student annotation, submission type image. This is an image I've uploaded. Make sure your images are PNG or JPEG. And then like sample instructions that you'd give a kid. Using the empty map, list each state using the text box and point annotation tools. Like you can tell them exactly what tools you want them to use as well. I'm going to go to you can hit submit and more confetti. I'm going to go next. So here are the slides. So these are uploaded as slides, as a Google presentation. And I just kind of pulled some slides that we had for an assignment from my juniors a couple years ago. So we were talking about juxtaposition. What are reasons why the author would use that? This could be a text feature entry where you answer the question in the text, etc., etc. Scroll on down, review vocabulary, another text feature that you could use. And that was all I was able to upload, really. This is 4. I probably could have got 5, but I took it down to 4, and that was really all I could do. Apologies. But yeah, so if uploading a slide presentation saved as a PowerPoint presentation, because again, you can't directly upload from your Google Drive, you're going to need to keep the slides under 10 at least. And I said that this presentation had 10 slides. While the upload went through, as a student, the assignment refused to pull up. So once I deleted slides down to 4, the student view popped up without an issue. However, if we do the slides as a PDF and I go to the next, I'm going to go ahead and leave it because it's like, hey, you haven't saved your stuff. You haven't submitted the assignment. So this is 1 out of 16. So yeah, if you can save it as a PDF, they see the same thing. It looks the same exact thing as the slides, but now you're able to actually go through every single solitary slide. And again, I just pulled this for an example because notice it had all the things on it. Read and annotate paragraphs 37 through 70. We talked about the ultimatums, etc., etc., etc. So if you've got a pretty lengthy assignment for them done in slides, you can use this. Just make sure you save them as a PDF into your desktop. And it works out just great. So I'm going to leave student view now. And we're going to go back to our home screen. All right. And we're on the last one. I was having fun with this and said, do not press the button. We're going to press it. And I have kids, so I had to do it. He touched the button. I should have put like an ON on here. I really should have. Maybe I'll do that later. All right, so adding a button is simply writing code that tells the rich content editor what you want the button to look like. Or simply by inserting an image you would like to use as your button. You can make your own button designs through Canva, free account for teachers with teachers' email, and then attaching a hyperlink to that button or that image. The hyperlink can take your students either to a separate URL on a separate website, or you can use a course hyperlink to any module, assignment, quiz, page, file, etc. within your course. So we're going to start off with the actual button. I'm not a big code writer. This is not where my wheelhouse is, but I did find a URL address and a person that works with code that has provided some copy and paste features. So when you click on this button, it's going to take you to a separate website that says how to canvas, buttons with pop-up boxes. This is written by Sean Neufer, Dr. Sean Neufer. He works a lot with how to canvas. He does a lot of canvas videos. He's also the one that showed that I watched his video on how to kind of get, I'm going to go back to the home screen real quick. He showed how to do your, your images a little bit wider, and how you've seen those images to be a little bit wider. It's like this image here and this one here. So that's who I've used quite often to learn how to do little things as such. So I'm going to go back to his page here that we had popped up. He has a video tutorial to walk you through. He has several video tutorials actually, and then he walks you through it. And these are examples of his homepage navigations and information buttons. And as you scroll down, he walks you through step by step, like this is how to do the home button. And this would be how to do a home button that has something else added to it. It shows you how to do a mini button, a small button. The medium button, he puts that in quotes because you would not type in medium, you would just type button, because this is the size of the normal button. And then you can have a large button. The code for these buttons are as such. So notice that you have to put the word mini button for that one, small for that one, just the word, I guess you have to do the medium part, but I'm pretty sure you just have to put button and it would do that. And then you have the large button. And then you can and then he gives you the copy and paste for, you want it to be blue, orange, etc., etc. And then if you want to change what the button says, all you would change in this code is this word here. So if you want that home button to say grades, you just take the word home, change it to grades, make sure it's capitalized, and that's what it would show in the button. Once the button is made in the code, then you would take that button and do the hyperlink, which is what I'm about to show you. But no, he's great. He's got a lot of great videos, and I do have, I think, his YouTube channel where you can go straight into it from the canvas that I made. Okay, so that's as much as I can go into with the buttons that are made by code. Now let's use an image. So I had everybody find an image that they would like to use for something in their class. Assignment that you may have it in mind, or a module for you to go straight into, or even a quiz. And then your options are to copy and paste the image in your home page, or upload the image from the icon just above the RCE box. I'm going to walk you through that step. You're going to select your now present image, which is probably massive, and you're going to select image options. We're going to change the dimension type to percentage and adjust the amount on a line that image will take up. So say if you have 4 images and you're using 4 different links, you're going to set your images to 20% for each image, and this will give your image buttons symmetry across the page. Once you have all your buttons and you've got the way they look, you've got them across the page, everything looks great, that's, and I would also center align it, that's when I would start adding my hyperlinks. Okay, so, and then this is my daughter, so this is my other daughter. So we're going to start swimming in these buttons. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to pages, and I'm going to create a new page. I'm going to see if this is the one that we were working on. Nope, this is not the one we were working. So I'm going to go to pages. I'm going to create a new page. I'm sorry that some of this is a little on the fly, but you know, we're not perfect. And create a button. We're going to create an image button. Okay, so I'm going to title my page, and then this is what I'm going to do. I have a Canva. Like I said, Canva's free for teachers. You can spend money on it and you get more features, but I kind of get away with what I need. This is one of the buttons I created yesterday, so y'all can go straight into my YouTube videos, which is what I'm making currently. I'm just going to go to my second page, and I'm going to go to elements, and I'm going to look, I can look up anything. So I'm going to actually look up the word button. Oh, I love yellow. So we're going to grab that particular picture. So I can either try to save this picture to my desktop. This is my easier feature that I like to using. I'm on a MacBook Air, so I'm going to go Shift Command 4. Shift Command 4 gives me my little snippet tool here. So I'm going to kind of angle it. I want as little background as possible. That looks good to me. I'm going to make it a little bit more symmetrical. Bam. And I have my little image there that's going, my screenshot that's going to go to my desktop directly. And I'm going to do one more. And what other buttons do we have here? Teal. Why not? That's a lot bigger. I can adjust it to where the yellow one I thought the yellow one was, but I don't really have to because I'm going to change that percentage on the page regardless. So again, I'm on a MacBook, so it's Shift Command 4. Shift Command 3 is the whole screen. It will just take a whole screenshot, but Shift Command 4 is going to give me the option to choose exactly what I want a screenshot of. Bam, that's going to go to my desktop. So I'm going to go back over to this page here and I'm going to insert. So again, you can go to insert image or you can just go to upload image. Either one works. It doesn't matter which one you choose. And I'm going to click this and I'm going to upload them separately because sometimes when you upload images together, the page, the rich content editor thinks that they're supposed to be together and it links them and then you can't separate them. So I'm going to do this the way I like and upload each one separately. So that's pretty big. That's fine. I'm going to put a space. So again, I can make sure that these two images are clearly separated and I'll use this feature this time. Upload image. It's the same thing. It's whatever you're used to. Open, submit. All right. So now I have my two buttons, but I want these buttons to look symmetrical. I want them to look symmetrical on the page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to image options. And when you pull up image options, you can change the screen. You can tell it's a decorative image. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to change it from pixels to percentage. And this is at 100%. I want it at 50. And we're going to hit done. So it's made it bigger. Same thing here. Image options. This is decorative. It's percentage. Again, I want it 50 and we're going to see if it works. I usually go, if I'm going to do across the whole page, obviously it sounds like 50-50, but I do have that space between them. So I think I'm going to change this one to 48 and hit done. And it already looks larger. I think it's just because it's a larger image. So I'm going to check this out. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to mimic the pixels. So both 3, 316, 30. It won't let me do that, will it? That looks a little bit better. So image options, we're going to then go to 48 and then go to this image options, go to 48, percentage 48. And they should look about the same. They're a little off. So I'm going to pull. And you know, sometimes, because when they came over from Canva, remember the yellow one was really little, the yellow one was little, this one was a little bigger. So I had to do some extra steps. No big deal. But that looks pretty symmetrical to me. All right, so now I have my images and I have my images set on my line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cursor all the way over here and I'm going to change it to the center alignment. So now they're centered on the page, which I like that too. And now I'm going to add my links. So once I click the image, this yellow button is selected. I'm going to go to the hyperlink right here. Now, external link is for them to go somewhere else. When I put the external link for this web page, that's what I used. A course link is going to take you anywhere within your courses. You can take them to a page. You can make them go straight into the assignment you want them to do, straight into the quiz, any of your announcements, but I don't use announcements. If you use discussion, straight to a module, or even your course navigation, like I want you to go to your grades. Okay. So any of those are options. Those are your options. So we're going to say we're going to make this go to give them an image. And we're going to hit exit. That's already, so now I can see once I select this image, I still have image options. I can remove my link or I can go to my link options. Same thing here. I'm going to go and I'm going to link it. I'm going to do a course link. I want this to take them to their grades. So it's going to do a course navigation. I want them to take it to their grades. This is selected and it's good to go. So again, I still have my image options. I can remove the link and I have link options. I'm going to go down here and click save and publish. And now both of my buttons are present. They look great across. I guess my little adjustment worked. If I click, it will go straight to where you wanted it to go. I'm going to go back and try the other one. Click, and I'm in my gradebook. Really, and I would highly advise using image buttons over regular buttons because number one, they look better. Number two, they're way easier to write. And the same here. This will be a button. This is you saw the image that I created up here. And this is going to be strictly just a button that you press to get to this video that you're watching, which you've probably already done. So a great feature. It makes it, a lot nicer for the students to look at. If I can say anything before I stop this video, it would be, again, to put as much stock into your home page as possible. Make sure that the students can easily navigate through your Canvas by making it as simple, as clear, as logical as possible. Do not forget to update your course navigation. They should not see all of this stuff. It should honestly be home. Hopefully you're using modules. I think that's the best thing for us. A lot of us have our sections, our units, and this is the easiest way to put everything within that unit in a very organized manner. They need to be able to access their grades. Syllabus is whether or not you use it. Grade sync needs to be up on the top, but the student will not see the grade sync. This is so your stuff syncs flawlessly into Skyward. So again, I would highly advise you to go into your pages, to view all pages, and create a page that is a very clear, concise home-based screen for them to see. Adding the buttons, like click here to start your assignment, click here to go check your grade. Add the buttons, make them cute, make it easy for them to follow. So you're getting less pushback of I don't know where I'm going, less pushback of I'm confused. Make it as clear, concise, and simple as possible for these students. They do value structure, and the more structure you have, the better off I think we will all be in the classroom. So that's my little spiel. I hope this was helpful. If you need anything whatsoever, if you have any questions, please reach out to my email. I will try my best to figure out and find out. And if I can't find out, I'll text Susan or email Susan. And if she can't find out, we will talk to Canvas. But it's a great feature. I highly advise, everybody use Canvas the best way to make it a tool for your classroom rather than it be your whole classroom, since we are usually face-to-face with our students. But that is all. I appreciate you and have a wonderful day.